Hi and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at a very nice camera in my opinion, and that is the Zeiss Ikon Nettax. The number is 513/16 and it's this camera here. It was built between 1955 and 1957 and it was exactly the same as the Zeiss Ikon Nettar. The number of that one is 518/16, otherwise known as the Nettar 2B. The difference is that this one has a built-in uncoupled, if I can open it, selenium meter. So this is the camera. Let's have a look at it in a bit more detail. So the Zeiss Ikon Nettax camera is a folding camera taking 120 roll film and shooting 6 by 6 centimeter negatives or 2 1/4 by 2 1/4 inch. Now the bellows are released by pressing this button here, and always make sure you don't let the bellows fly open on the spring. And there it is. I think it's a very nice looking camera, and I love these folding cameras from the early days of photography. And this one takes some quite nice images, although I haven't used it very often. But I'll show you some images later on in the video. The lens is a Nova Anastigmat 75mm f1.45 aperture lens, and the aperture goes from, as I said, 4.5 up to f22. It's quite a nice little lens actually, and the lens is mounted on a pronto shutter. The speeds go from 1/25 of a second up to 1/200th of a second, and also a bulb setting. Okay, we set the aperture by moving this marker here, and as you can see, f8, f11, f16, and we alter the shutter speed by moving this dial here. As you can see, there's a red mark, and just align it with a shutter speed that is suitable for your shot. And the shutter is cocked by moving this lever here. If we zoom out, and press the shutter, takes a photo. Now if we cock the shutter again, it won't fire. So there's a built-in, the shutter is actually interlocked with the film advance, and so if we turn the film advance, you can hear it click, and then you're ready to shoot again, and it's locked. Now, in order to use the uncoupled selenium meter, that's supposed to be spring loaded, and you can see the spring in there, but this is the only part of the camera that doesn't work, and it will not spring open, so you have to physically lift it up. And there you have the selenium meter, and it's in full working condition in this camera. So how does that work? Well, let's zoom in for another little look. So with the selenium meter exposed, we have this meter here, and if I block up the selenium meter, you can see that moving, and that will give you your measurement if you line up by turning this dial the 0 and line it up with the needle. And then if we look at this dial here, just close this up so I can get it better in the camera. So we've lined up our circle with the needle. We'll set our ISO by moving this dial here, and the ISO goes from 5 all the way up to 650. So let's set our aperture to 1/60th of a second. So with the dial turned so that everything's aligned, we can now read off what shutter speed we've got for any particular aperture. And as we can see here, at f4.5 we've got a shutter speed of 1/100th of a second, at f5.6 1/50th, and f8 1/25th of a second. So that will give us an accurate meter reading with which to take our image. The camera isn't a rangefinder, it's a zone focus system, so you need to know the subject's distance from the camera to get it accurately focused. But what this camera does have is a snapshot mode, or as they call it, a red dot setting. So let's have a look at what that exactly is. Zoom in a little bit more. Now on the speed setting there is a red dot that you can see there, and if you line up the shutter speed arrow there with a red line with the red dot, and then we go to the focusing dial and line up that mark there with that red dot, then we've got a setting that will give you everything in focus from 13 feet to infinity, and you can just walk around taking shots as you want to, and knowing everything is going to be in focus from 13 foot to infinity, which is quite a nice feature, I think. Also, the camera has a self timer here, the red dot there, and you also have your flash connection there, and you can buy from Zeiss Ikon, or you could do, an Blitz flashlight. Okay, let's open up the back, and the usual way, you pull down on that lever and then it opens up nicely. And as you can see, it's got a very small viewfinder there, but as you can also see, if you zoom in a little bit more, you can also see a red mark or a red flag in the viewfinder, and of course that tells you that you cannot take a picture. So if we rotate the film advance, you can see that the red flag's disappeared, and that can tell you that you're ready to take your photo. That pretty much sums up the Zeiss Ikon Nettax 6x6 120 roll film camera. I'll just add a few more things. If you wanted to use a rangefinder, you can get rangefinders like this little unit here, which will attach to the hot shoe of your camera, and they're quite useful little units actually. I will be doing a video on these things in a forthcoming video, but I think using the zone focus is quite easy to use, to be honest, and you get some good results from it. I bought this camera about 12 months ago, maybe just a little bit longer, and it cost me £20, including a case, which is still in pretty good condition. It just needs a little bit of stitching to make it pretty much perfect, and also an instruction manual, which as you know, if you collect cameras, these are few and far between, instruction manuals that come with cameras, at least the older ones anyway. So yeah, a very nice camera. I've had a quick look on eBay to see what's available at the moment. Let me just refresh my memory. As I say, I bought this for £20 about 12 months ago, and a few recently sold on eBay from £25 up to £65, and there are a couple at the moment on eBay which range from £45 to £65, sorry, £55 as a starting price. Now I think that's a bit high, to be honest, but they have sold for that. Altogether, a very nice camera. This is in very good condition. It's clean, everything works, nothing sticks. As I say, I've shot a roll of film through it, so I'll show you those images now. These images aren't anything very special, they're just a trial test roll, if you like, walking around the garden just taking a few images, but I do plan to take it out very soon and shoot a bit more with it, and I'll be doing a follow-up video to show you those images a bit later on. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. There'll be lots more to come. I've got quite a few cameras in the collection, which I'll be showing you soon. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.